Hey everybody, thanks again for joining me. This is another Changing Lives webcast. My name is Don Clayton. I am the Chief Talent Officer at FranServe. FranServe is the world's largest franchise consulting and expansion organization. I am so honored today to have with us Laura Blackmore from Orlando, Florida. She is a FranServe certified advanced franchise consultant. Laura, welcome to the program.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
Well, you're so welcome. Laura, tell us a little bit first about how in the world did you even learn about franchise
Yeah.
consulting, and
Well,
what was it that brought you to join FranServe, and when was it?
so I'm an old timer. I'm in my 11th year. Fun fact, I started around the same time Alicia did. I remember joining calls with her and thinking, oh, good Lord, I can't do what this person does. I was just so blown away. It was obvious then that she was going to be a superstar.
Weren't we all? Weren't we
Yeah.
all? Right?
But, but yeah, so I stumbled into this. I was a CFO. Same reason a lot of people that we're talking to. I was burnt out, ready for a change. In fact, I was not proud of myself as a CFO. I was like, I'm the kind of people that, we need to look and get rid of because I just wasn't producing what I wanted to be producing. So I worked for a great family company. So had a good chat with my boss and started looking for a job and thought, oh, I'm too old for this. I don't want to compete against these 30 somethings. Somehow stumbled into some online ad for a different type of franchise consulting. And I thought, this could be interesting. I did a lot of acquisitions and mergers when I was a CFO. So I thought, could I leverage what I know there? And I don't have to do the sales. That wasn't what was in my mind. I did not want to be doing the sales,
Mm.
but I like to talk about business and I understand a lot of components about business. So that was very appealing. I don't know who I talked to first. Can't remember. It was a bizarre conversation. So then I started looking further and stumbled into FranServe. And I think just pretty much right away, I had a very good feel about the people at the time. And it's even, progressed and changed over not completely, but it was a good feel then. And it's even a better feel now. So yeah, I just think I was just very fortunate to.
We are so blessed and honored to have you with our FranServe family. You are truly a superhero. We got to get you one of these backgrounds. And you've been here over a decade. I too have been here over a decade. And so I believe Alicia joined in 2014. So that would have been right around the time you joined
Mhm.
as a FranServe consultant. One of the things that you had mentioned that I really love about consulting at FranServe is that you're right, there is no sales involved. And it's more of it truly is a legitimate consulting opportunity, and there's no pressure, there's no sales tactics, there's none of that. It's just opening the eyes of opportunities that most everyday average individuals, and I say Americans, but we work with folks from all over the world, so
Sure.
it's just we kind of open their eyes to see the opportunities that are out there. And with that, the reason why I chose you to be on my show today is because I absolutely loved one of the posts that you put up recently. And what caught my eye, I even am going to name this my next column in the Franchise Dictionary magazine. I'm going to name it this actual title. And what really caught my eye was you put up there waffles and paint. And a lot of times people think they have it in their mind that franchising is about one particular industry, one particular subset, and that's it. And you chose waffles and paint. And you'd mentioned that franchising is not about finding the perfect business. It's more than waffles and paint. Can you dive in a little bit more and share with the audience exactly what you meant by franchising is not always about waffles and paint?
Sure. So, and that post stemmed from some recent conversations I've been having with candidates, and I'm seeing them getting stuck in a place. One of fear of not looking at enough, but two, just that agony of am I finding the perfect fit? Am I finding my passion? Am I finding all the absolute pinnacle of what it takes to jump into business? And trying to work through how I can help them learn that it's really not about that. Are you really looking for something to change your life? Are you looking to have more control of your schedule, control of your finances? Can you bet on yourself? That's what and if I don't feel they can get to that point, we have to talk through what it takes to get there. But that's the crux behind why I wrote that post.
Well, yeah, I love that. So I don't know if you saw my little heart emoji, but I love that because oftentimes, Laura, as you know, we're talking with individuals that are looking for maybe a second, third, fourth income. Perhaps they've been laid off, fired, maybe they quit their job. Maybe they retired early and they find that retirement isn't everything that they want. And so they're in search, and we come across this every day, every
Yep.
single day. People are in search of that perfect business, something that is going to check all the boxes. And as you and I both very well know, there isn't any business out there, much let alone a franchise, that checks all. I even think about my daughter who's in her mid 20s, who's dating and trying to find her husband, and she's thinking, oh, there's this got to be this Prince Charming and this perfect person out there.
Right.
There is no such thing as that. So how do you work, Laura? How do you work with someone that they have been a W-2 employee their whole life, and they've always dreamed about owning their own business, and they always thought that it was indeed about finding that perfect business, to
Mm-hmm.
find maybe something that meets their passion. Maybe they love to play golf, so they have to be in the golf business. Why is that more of a myth than it is fact?
Because one, finding the right business, and can you really make money, and does it have the components of what it takes to be successful based on your skills, et cetera. But I think the myth is really defining, what does success look like to you? What do you really want? And let's go through those components, and then map the franchise that can facilitate that. And people that will be willing to transition and go through that process, I think, are the ones that typically will keep on moving forward. Many of them will start there saying, I'm totally open to that, and they're not. And you have to keep on bringing back to, let's discuss again, what are the reasons you're doing this. And I found sometimes there's one person I'm working with now, he's got competing desires, and so we're trying to work through which one is going to win, because that's going to drive the franchise. Because it's just two different, whether his wife's going to do it or he's going to do it, and it goes back and forth, and it's becoming a challenge. But nonetheless, it's revisiting those reasons, the reasons they think they want to, questioning those, challenging those, and are they truly going to align with, or I can align, certain franchises that'll help map to that, and so they can see that it's not necessarily this specific service I'm providing. It's really, what is that going to do? Is that going to allow me to be involved in the community? Some people really, really like that, want that. So in most home service franchise, you need to do that. So it's making them understand that, or seeing how they can, drive that path, and not only create a business, create their own schedule, but have this, dream of owning a business that is different than their W-2. But
Well,
they have to count on themselves.
absolutely. And what you had just mentioned made me think about two things. The first thing it made me think about was, when we do work with candidates and we work with people, we try to figure out, well, what are your pain points? What is it that's hurting you right now? Why are we even talking in the first place?
Mm-hmm.
I mentioned that I'm not going to go to an automobile dealership unless I need a car. Okay, so you're here. We're talking for a reason.
Mm-hmm.
My pain point in not having a car is that I'm tired of taking the bus. I'm tired of calling an Uber. I'm tired of walking. I'm tired of riding a bike. Whatever it is, I need a car. So that's what we help do, is uncover those pain points. What are your pain points? And then we try to match them up with an opportunity that's going to solve those. The second thing it reminded me of, Laura, when you were just speaking, was the biggest competition that someone has that's looking for the biggest aggregator, I should say, is the status quo. No one, no, everyone that you're talking to, like I said, if I need a vehicle and I'm riding a bike, the status quo is riding that bike. And
Yeah.
I don't want that status quo anymore. And so when you're talking to folks, it's like, okay, now we can make a change. Now we can make a difference. Now we can change the trajectory of your entire family and generate for generations to come. And so we got to get out of that status quo and do something different because none of us are promised tomorrow. So, any final comments on that, Laura?
No, I think it just really comes down to, there's so many good options, helping people weed through that option, but really making sure that we know their motivation, and so and is it is it balanced? Is their perspective reasonable? And just helping them understand what it takes to get into a franchise.
You're right. I mean, we have so many opportunities. I mean,
Mhm.
hundreds of contracts that we have with franchisors. These franchisors, hundreds of them, contract with us because we have the knowledge, the skills, the ability to match individuals up the right way. That's why they contract with us because
Mhm.
we know how to match folks up in the right business opportunity for them. We have opportunities from 10,000 all the way up to 10 million. Work from home, brick and mortar. So, Laura, let me ask you this. If someone out there is watching this and they're like, I would love to talk to Laura Blackmore from Orlando, Florida. You can work with anybody all over the world. What's the best way for them to reach you?
Find me on LinkedIn is an easier one, Laura Blackmore, or my website is Blackmore Franchise Consulting. My email is kind of a long one, Laura at Blackmore Franchise Consulting, but any of those ways would be great.
And that's .com, correct?
.com. Thank you. Yeah.
Okay. Laura Blackmore from Orlando, Florida, a FranServe certified advanced franchise consultant. She is a 10 plus year franchise consultant veteran. She's one of our superheroes. Thank you so much for
Thanks.
joining me here today. We appreciate your insights. My name is Don Clayton. I'm the Chief Talent Officer here at FranServe. If you'd like to get in touch with me or learn more about becoming a franchise consultant, you can email connect@franserve.com. Again, that's connect@franserve.com. Laura, we hopefully will see you at Disney World at our
We will.
convention in about, I guess, about 45, 50 days. I'm not really sure, but it's coming up in about a month and a half. So we'll
Yeah.
see you there. And
Yep.
I'm excited about that. So thanks again for joining me. Everyone, take care. We'll see you next time.
Thanks a lot.